I'm glad to help you get the most out of this tool for your users and the people in your community. Hopefully, we'll give them a little bit more clarity on what they can do. It's going to personalize the ad with those tags. It's got the ad copy. It's going to provide to you a creative as well. Now, you can also select a call to action where it'll use that call number as well. So after they submit the form and they're brought to that thank you page, this is just going to determine that with that call to action. If you're a local business, service business with an address where people come to your store, typically dropping a radius around that business is best. This quarter, we're going to be launching Google Ads, give the same experience.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Lead Gen Automations channel, your go-to hub for growing your local business. If you're a contractor, brick and mortar business, digital creator, or entrepreneur, and you're looking for powerful tools, fresh ideas, and expert strategies, you're in the right place. Here we dive deep into Lead Gen Automations, sales and marketing tools, plus partner interviews, software releases, and expert insights to help you scale faster. Need a CRM to manage leads? Want more reviews to boost your reputation? Looking for a better calendar system or SEO help? We've got you covered. Here you'll learn how to use our suite of software tools, grow and automate your business, exclusive partner interviews and software demos, insider news, strategies and tips to scale faster, live case studies, and real-world examples and expert insights. Whether you're just starting out or ready to take your business to the next level, we've got you covered with the tools and knowledge to help you succeed. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you'll never miss an update. Welcome everyone. Today I have Roger. He's a partner of ours. So bringing this training for everybody on our new ad launch tool. So I'm very excited to introduce him to everybody and show you guys a quick demo and how to use it. And then I'll drop this recording in our membership area and then in our community as well. So drop any comments that you have after the video is live. And we are so excited to launch this for everybody. Thank you guys. And thanks for joining us, Roger.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad to help you get the most out of this tool for your users and the people in your community. Hopefully, we'll give them a little bit more clarity on what they can do, and I can learn a little bit how we can help set it up for how you think it's going to be best. I'll just get right into it if you want. I can share my screen and we can start building.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. So first thing is when they go into those sub accounts, they're going to have this link that you provided them, which is pretty cool, which is going to be the ad launcher.
Yeah, it's called Launch Ads right there at the top.
So we've got our launch ads. Once you click it, we're going to go into this where ad accounts can be connected. So the first thing that you're going to do, I think you've probably connected this before and then disconnected. So what your clients are going to see is when they go in the first time, it'll take them through a guided look where they'll connect their ad accounts and answer some questions about their business. That's so that way the ads that they launch later, they can all be personalized with their accurate information, right? It just helps streamline their process. But what you can do on your end is if you click connect ad account and connect that Facebook account, you can select some accounts that you'd like to use for launching ads. If you want to do that on your end, I don't think we have to show it to them because it's pretty self-explanatory. But if you
Okay.
get one connected, that'll be good for our testing.
Okay.
For those of you that don't have a business manager, that is sometimes the case. I'm going to provide a little bit of a helpful here. So this link right here, if you type in to Google, create business manager, or I'll actually share this link, but essentially this just gives you a guided flow on how you can do that. So yeah, if you don't have a Facebook business manager for meta ads, it's really easy. It's a guided flow. You can hit start now and it just walks you through creating a business manager. That's going to create an ad account. You'll put a card on file. You only have to do it once and then you'll be connected with that account in your CRM and you'll never have to mess with it again.
So I think I'm at the right spot.
Okay.
So I'm actually in one of my window treatment covering businesses.
Oh, you wanted to go into that one? Okay. And what is that called?
It's called Window Decor. And let's see if I can get this logged in.
You said window decor?
Yes.
Okay. You got two of them. Is it the,
Yes.
let's go into launch ads. So yeah, this is where you have that flow. So are you going through that connect your ad account flow?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Once you click connect, you're going to select your ad accounts. And again, there'll be that link provided if you don't have that. And once you connect your ad accounts, and you can share that if you'd like, Jenna, if you want to share that process.
Yes, I just came in here and I connected with Facebook, and it has the little pop-up where you have to integrate it just similar to our social planner flow. So it's a pop-up, and then this is like through the business manager, the ad account, and you're selecting underneath there the Facebook page. So I'll hit click continue.
So once she has that connected, I'll refresh and then I'll show you what she filled in and it'll make more sense as well. So you
Okay.
connect your Facebook account, you selected your ad account, and here you're just going to verify your information. It's a little bit of a pain, but it's good to have accurate information in there one time. So that way it's reused every time you run an ad. You don't have to worry about it. Business name, the niche, the window treatments was there.
Yes, we added it.
Okay, cool. Nice. And then, yep. And when you do your website, I think it might require the HTTPS, but let's see if it does without it.
Okay.
That's excellent. And yep, target area name. And it's good to know too that this will pre-fill it when there's personalized variables in your ads. However, when you're launching an ad, if you want to change the variables for different campaigns, you can do that on the fly. So this is just help streamline it. Customer testimonial, you can leave that blank for now and add something later. That's just if
Okay.
you want to integrate customer testimonials inside of your ad copy.
Okay. And then for everybody who's watching this purposes, you want to do this as a tracking number from our system. But for this purposes, since I don't have this number memorized, I'm just going to do the regular business phone number. But for ad purposes, you guys want to use tracking numbers anytime you can.
Yeah. And that's cool too, because it's going to pre-fill it in things where customers have that call to action. It's going to do it to where you don't have to remember to put it in. And it's important too when you put in your business address to select it from the drop down and make sure you do that because, okay, yeah, I think it's HTTPS. It needs to make sure it's secure forward slash. Yeah, there you go. That should do it. Perfect. So the setup is done. And what you can do, we're going to walk through right now. And Jenna, as you want, you can share some ad templates with them. But if you go into click add templates, you can go in and there's some window treatment apps that are made available. And as you spend money on them, it's going to keep the metrics tracked across these different offers. You've got three different offers: a 50% off on your first order, buy two windows, get two free, and 10% off your window order. So those are the three offers. Now, if you want to, let's do two things. Let's walk through if I look at the ads that you have available to me. Let's say I want to create my own ad as a user. Yeah, let's click on create. Yep, create ad. And you can select that same niche. And on the left-hand side, it's going to see the niche and it's going to give you some different offer ideas. So you can hover over them. And there you go. And then yeah,
Hmm.
window treatment's the name of it. Oh, you know what? When you are a user inside the system, you can't add a template to a shared folder, but you can create your own folder.
Okay.
So you could be like my ad, you could label it my ads if you wanted to. So that way you can keep your own
Do
ads
it.
separate from the ones that are shared with you and hit continue. And unless you know that you're in a special ad category, the answer is going to be no. And then you can always start blank if you have an ad that you want, but use AI writers again. Good starting.
And who all belongs in that special category, Roger?
That's going to be people in housing or credit, financial, people running employment ads, financial services. If you're not in housing or financial services or running employment ads, you're probably good.
And that includes mortgage people, right?
That's right. That's right. Okay. So here, you don't really have to do anything, but right here, there's something that I would change. And if you want to edit it, you can toggle the toggle at the top. And then I would edit the top one. It says increase awareness and drive engagement. I would say leads, drive leads for window treatment services.
Love it.
And so sometimes, usually it'll have that right, but always good to review it and change as needed. You can go ahead and hit continue. And what it's going to do is it's going to personalize the ad with those tags. So you've got the target area name that we filled out earlier, and it's got the ad copy. It's going to provide to you a creative as well. But if you want, you can click the scroll down, you can click the add creative button, and you can you can upload your own media or video or anything that you have personalized to the ad. So you can do
Very
multiple
cool.
images and video. If you scroll up a little bit, so if you want, you can click the ad editor. And if you want to add some inserts or if you want to ask AI to change it, you can do that. And you can toggle the headlines to change the headlines at the top as well. Yep.
Very cool.
If you ask AI, let's say you wanted to change it to Spanish, or if you wanted to just write it differently, you could do that and it would do that for you. But we'll just leave it alone as it is. You can also change the call to action at the bottom where it says get offer just by
Mhm.
clicking on it. You can click X on it and then you could say select a different call to action. But get offer is a good one for what you're doing, I think. Yeah, get quote. Yep. And then when you hit continue, you don't really have to do anything here. So don't be overwhelmed. But if you'd like, you can change some of the settings. The target audience is typically going to be set up with the demos is broad targeting, but you can click view edit if you'd like. And if you want to add interest, the language is going to default to English. AI went ahead and set up the demos based on what it thought would be best. So if you look at the target age range, it didn't do 18 to 65 open ended. It started at 25 because obviously this is going to be targeting homeowners and it makes more sense for that.
Yep.
So it's going to set these things up. You can look at it if you want, but it's pretty much done for you. You can save changes and exit. And the mile radius, depending on what you serve, you might change the mile radius to something that is something else that you'd like. Campaign objectives, it's going to default to a lead form. That's the best way to track lead conversions, but you can certainly do other types of objectives by toggling them on. So if you wanted to do traffic to a website, like leads to a website, you could toggle that on as well. And it's important to note you can toggle on multiple objectives because right now you're just setting up a template. You're not launching the ad. When you go to launch the ad, you can choose which objective you want to use.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at lead form. And then lead form, when you go to select it, there's none now. However, the moment you create your first lead form, you won't have to create it every time. It's going to be saved as a reusable template. So let's create one and just name it like window treatment lead form. And then like V1. Perfect. And then you've got your general settings that you can change. They're pretty good to go. Enable, typically, you can turn off the greeting, but to simplify it and pre-fill questions. In that questions description, you would want to put in a message like, let us know the best way to reach you. Or you could say where to send the offer if you're sending an offer, whatever is appropriate.
And your project.
Yeah. So if you, and that, yep, there you go. Custom questions are perfect. Excellent. And privacy policy, you don't have to worry about that because what that's going to do is it's going to pre-fill with your variable that you put in earlier. Now you can also select a call to action it'll use that call number as well if you want. So after they submit the form and they're brought to that thank you page, this is just going to determine that what that call to action is.
Perfect.
Once you have it all set up, you can also preview it. So if you click up in the preview there, you can toggle through. And if you scroll to the right, yeah, so it's got your custom questions first, and then it'll pre-fill those. Those are typically your pre-fill questions and privacy policy. And so that just lets you know how it's going to look a little.
Perfect.
And then you can save changes and exit. And now what's great is the next time you go to do an ad, that lead form will already be done, right? You won't have to do it again. So when you publish that ad, and if you click back, you should now have a folder. It's got my ads. You've got your first offer. And instead of going through that whole process again, Even though it's easier than doing it inside Business Manager, it still takes a few steps. And we're lazy. We want things to be fast. So you can
Yeah.
click the three dot menu icon. You can hit duplicate and you can give it a new offer. Let's say a new client offer. We'll call it for now. And then hit duplicate add template. But now what you can do is you can go in and open that and you can change the ad copy. You can change the creative and it shows pre-fill as if you were ready to launch the ad, right? So
Hmm.
that one's good to go. This allows you to really easily split test these ad offers. So now you've got a couple templates created. You could use the ones that Jenna, the ones that you're providing to them. They can click on the ones that you've provided, or they can use them. There's one other thing they can do before they launch an ad if they want.
Okay.
So they click create new and import. So what they can do is this is going to show the ads that they've run previously, and they can click that import button. And based on the metrics, if they have any ads that they've run in the past, they can do that. And then it'll import the creative, the copy, and all the metrics of the ads that they've run in the past. So they can tweak it, reuse it. If you've had an ad that has worked before, you can create a reusable template on it just by importing it.
Very cool.
So that's the time saver. And then, but let's go ahead and launch an ad. I think that'll be easy to do. So it defaults, it goes right into my ad. So the ad you just created, go in there, you can click continue. It's already set up the way you want. All you have to do is set a budget. And let's say it's $10. You can go ahead and we'll publish it and you can just toggle it off. And then if you want to change the target address, right now it's targeting 1.2 million. You might want to target it in maybe a little smaller, depending. Yeah, you definitely want to have, I always say at least 25,000 people when you have broad targeting turned on. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of things in advanced settings that you can tweak, but aren't necessary. So you can launch the ad as is, it's done, everything's good to go. But if you click that advanced settings tab, you can schedule the ad out. You can change that lead form a little bit. If you have a custom audience, you can select that from your ad account and target a
Mm.
custom
Okay.
audience. And if you wanted to, you could think, let's see, yeah, optimize creative. There's just some advanced settings that if you turn them on or off, you can customize it.
That's the software like optimizing this after you already launched the ads
That's right.
with the AI, right?
That's right. It uses the AI to optimize the creative on the platform.
Cool.
Yep. So
Is
you
there any notification of the change?
no, it takes it and it runs different variations of it and it just works in the background. You can, yeah, if you make any changes, you can hit save changes, go. And so if that looks good, you can hit continue. You can also change that address. If you hit back 1 second, let me show you one more thing back at the bottom there. If on target address, you can also, there's a drop down and you can do custom address. And if you do that, you can hit cancel. I just wanted to show that's that drop down custom. You can do multiple zip codes. You can do based on county, based on city, state, country. You can really change it up and it'll show how your audience size changes based off of your target address.
And so one use case would be for like if there's an event in the area, correct?
That's right. Yep. Absolutely.
Very cool.
Yep. You can hit continue now. Oh, you can hit
Check
X
it
out of
out.
that. I was thinking you were going to add another. Yep. Because you can add multiple addresses as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
And what's your take on here? If it's a service area business, just wherever your service area, do it in the middle. What's your thoughts on that, Roger?
yeah, if you have a business location where people are coming to your store for window treatment, they're servicing an area. So I think zip codes and cities and territories are good to focus on. But if you're a local business, service business with an address where people come to your store, typically dropping a radius around that business is best. And think how far away would people be willing to drive to my service business? Some service businesses, like a med spa, they might have their client radius a little bit longer because maybe they're a specialty service. Some clients, like a gym, typically you're not going to travel more than 3 to 5 miles for your gym, depending on how rural the area is and your competition. So just think through that when you think of your radius, but don't overthink it. It's more important to I would say at least get 25,000 people in that circle and expand it until you at least hit that 25,000.
Yeah, love it.
And you can always increase it in the future.
Cool. Do
So
we
yeah, go ahead and publish it and we'll turn it off. So it's going to publish it to your ad account.
and
Uh,
Facebook does like a audit process before it actually goes live.
if it's a video ad, so Facebook definitely reviews the ad. And if it's a video ad, it's not going to show in your ad account until that video is approved. But right now, this will show in your Facebook ad account. It's been published to it. You have your daily budget. So here you can toggle the ad on or off. So you can go ahead and toggle that off. You can see that the status is in review. It'll stay in review. Actually, it'll turn to ad paused now. And then the budget you could change by clicking on it if after it's been approved. And
Mhm.
then you'll see your metrics there. Now, aside from that, now we've imported an ad, we've used AI to create an ad. We can use ads that you provided to us. But what's great is after we launch this ad, the leads are automatically going into our contacts. They're automatically coming into our CRM. We don't have to do anything else. The leads are also going to be backed up on this lead portal here. So if you click on the leads, the lead section in the middle there, and
Okay.
anytime you have any custom media that you want to use in your ads, you can go to the media section. And Jenna, if you're ever helping them as a done for you service, they can upload their custom media and you can help them launch ads on your side if you're offering that kind of done for you service
Cool.
with their ad account and their custom media. And if they ever need to change their inserts, like that onboarding information, they can change that there as well.
Very cool. And but these leads, this lead form does need to be integrated within our system, right?
Yes and no. So if you do nothing, the leads will come in from the lead form and it'll go into the contacts in your CRM. And then you're going to, when they go into the CRM contacts, you can add tags to them and things of that nature for the auto nurture sequences.
Okay. But there's
Uh,
nothing like the sub account has to do to integrate that on there.
no, there's not. However, when you have those custom questions, those custom questions are going to be published in the notes section of that contact. So if you want them going to a specific custom field, then they have to be manually mapped. But if you don't care, and those custom questions, because the name will go to the name, the email goes to the email, address to the address, etc.
Okay.
But if you have a question like, describe your window treatment project, tell us what you want to do, you would just go to the contacts and click notes, and you would see the question and the response in their notes.
Gotcha. Cool. Perfect. That's great. Thanks so much for taking us through everything today and showing us how to launch our first ad. Again, for everybody, it's in here underneath here called Launch Ads, and this is for Facebook and Instagram. And coming soon is Google. Roger?
Yeah, this quarter we're going to be launching Google Ads, and we want to give the same experience. There's also some other really nice functions that we're going to be adding that'll be cool little surprises. But one thing we didn't show them because we weren't screen sharing is when you click on the ad accounts, right?
Yeah.
If you're setting up a default ad account and page that you're using for your ad, you can also select Instagram. You can change those at any time. You can change the default account. Just be aware of that if you selected the wrong one, or if you have an issue with one ad account, maybe you want to try a different one, you can do that. Just a heads up on that.
And this is integrating through Business Manager. So again, if you don't have that set up, we have the link for you. And this, if you update the payment method here, it updates it on Business Manager, correct?
That's right. If we identify anything that is not set up incorrectly, don't worry. We'll check it out before you try to launch an ad, and we'll let you know what needs to get fixed right here on this ad accounts page. And typically you can just click and fix it without going anywhere else. And we try and demystify the whole process.
Perfect. Thanks so much for joining us today. We're excited to launch this to everybody. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new update. And if you know someone who would benefit from today's video, please share this with them. Ready to streamline your business or soar to new heights? Click the link below to get started. We'll see you in the next video.